just thought I'd take a short break just to let you know about becoming a Breakout Bestie. So we've launched a brand new subscription service for the small businesses that need us in your pocket. So why do you need to become a Breakout Bestie? Well, it's just a monthly subscription that gives you access to us when you need us. There's a closed group where you can ask us any question you need. There's also an anonymous posting on, so if you've got clients in the same group, you can ask us anything and we'll get back to you. Sometimes that'll be a quick answer, other times it might be that we need a bit more of an in-depth chat. There'll also be posts and information on the latest trends, the latest strategies for social media, upcoming things from HMRC that you may have missed, just anything you need to make your life easier to run your business. You'll also have access to our client base and money off discounts and vouchers for various services we've got coming out. This is brand new, it's only just been launched, so have a look, go on our website under Besties and sign up soon.
Because you are collaborating with the customer. And I think that's what's important. It's not me hoisting my ideas onto you. It's me making your ideas possible and creating your dream trip and your dream itinerary. And that's what's really important. It's about just making someone else's dreams come true when it comes to the holiday. And it's not whether I would go or not. It's about, am I fulfilling your need? And the nice thing with having someone like a TC or someone that you go to consistently and you stick with them year after year is it's about me learning what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah. Hi and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle, or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe and we hope you enjoy listening to this episode. Hi and welcome to Breakout Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. Today we have the awesome, well-travelled
True.
Daragh here from... Are you Daragh from Travel Counsellors? Do we say that?
We say Daragh. I am a travel counsellor. I am independent because it's a franchise business. So
Daragh's an independent travel agent?
Yeah, travel agent stroke travel operator, because I can act as a travel operator and create holidays.
What's the difference? I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah, there is a bit of a difference. So travel agents generally will take something that's off the shelf, like a package holiday that's already set.
Okay, yeah, you don't do that really.
Not really. I can do that if someone wants. Whereas a tour operator is someone who kind of creates something a little bit more bespoke, where we'd add in excursions, events, and you're touring around. It won't necessarily, it's not like a fly and flop, as I'd like to call it, where you fly somewhere, flop by the pool and stay there for 2 weeks. No, a tour is more, you might travel around Sri Lanka and see loads of different things. You might start in Colombo, then go on to Kandy, then go over to the coast, then go down to Yala National Park. So that's, you're touring a place more. And then I would fill it in with excursions and ideas and suggestions and create that in your transfers and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like your A to Z. So that's
there was a difference.
Yeah, so there you go. Little bit of a difference.
That knows me personally or has tried to get into the office in previous years, it's like, oh, Farley's on holiday again. So the fact that I found her and I'm like, oh my word, I've got another travel person. So my friends actually take the mick out of me and like, I can't believe you got like a private travel person. I'm like, but because I don't like Googling and searching, I dislike finding flights and the flight times and then putting it all together. It's not my thing. However, I love when we get together because you are that true person that have found your passion and love what you do, because I don't feel guilty when I see you that I just talk about holidays.
No, and that's why I love seeing you, because you'll talk about what I'm my most favourite thing. I'm like, fine, all good.
Whereas sometimes it's funnily enough, when I get home at 7 p.m. and I do Ben's bookkeeping and he wants to talk to me about bookkeeping, I'm like, no, that's 9 to 5. We do not talk about bookkeeping outside of 9 to 5. That's not. Yeah.
travel has no limitations like that.
It's a bit of a different passion. I enjoy doing it. So, but how did you get to, like, I mean, that is the dream, isn't it? Doing what you absolutely love and what your passion is.
Yeah,
You get to talk about it all day.
I do. I'm very lucky. Bit of a long journey in that my parents travelled with me from a very young age, so very much came through the family. My uncle and aunt actually owned travel agents in Dublin. So growing up, there was always a travel agent that we had our own travel agent that we'd go to, and they would organise all of our stuff. So it was great. So Uncle John used to arrange everything, and then Cousin Sean arranged everything. So it's always kind of that way in the family. Right up to the time my parents passed away, actually, all of everything they were going abroad. They would always arrange it through the family, and it was great. So the passion came from them. And then I wandered off into retail. I was going to go into tourism. I wanted to do tourism, but I got distracted by something shiny in a clothes shop, as it happens. So I went into retail, and I worked in retail, God, up until a year ago, really, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, maybe. I started in fashion, did that for a long time, and then I ended up randomly from fashion into fine jewellery and high jewellery. So selling really high-end jewellery pieces, like I could easily sell you a ring for £100,000. That kind of really big pieces and up. It was fun. It was fun.
To me, high-end jewellery is like my engagement ring.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That wasn't the 100.
No, that wasn't. Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah. Next time, Ben. Next time. Yeah. Anniversary gift.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to travel a lot with that. So I used to do a lot of jewellery shows around the world. So I would be in Singapore. I would be in New York, working in Saks Fifth Avenue. I'd be down in Naples. I'd be in Qatar a couple of times a year, Bahrain a couple of times a year. So I travelled a lot then through work. So it was great because I love dealing with the public. I love customers, which I know is unusual because a lot of people are like, I love my job, but I hate the customer aspect. Whereas actually customers are my favourite part of it because getting to know new people.
Oh, I love that. Do you find though, so I get not burnt out, but my social battery goes. Because I genuinely love everyone coming into the shop, networking, chatting to people. It does get to about 6 p.m. and
100%. I used to love.
Run out now.
Before I was a home worker, I loved my time commuting home. That hour where I could be silent reading a book was golden. But now I'm a home worker. That only takes me 10 seconds to walk from my office into the kitchen. So it's not really that long a commute, but no, it's good. So yeah, you're drained because you give so much of yourself to people, and it's constantly buoyant. But in general, I find some of it can really recharge me as well. It can give and take with the energy, which is really, it was customer relations if anything goes wrong. So I've got support. And then I have all colleagues as well, my friends who, I have a friend who's an expert in Sri Lanka. I have another friend who's an expert on the Maldives. So if there's knowledge gaps of somewhere I haven't been, and I've been to a lot of places, thankfully, I have friends who have been. So it was a no-brainer to kind of go into it.
Quite collaborative in Travel Counsellors.
Yeah, very.
So I think that's really, really important now. And I'm finding more and more businesses I speak to, the industry's either like that, and I've generalised a bit as the industry, but travel counsellors, you've always said that. I can talk to another industry, another group, and they're like, no, we don't collaborate, we don't share, we don't speak. They are our competitors. And I'm like, my brain doesn't relate to that very well. So I'm a bit like,
travel.
But there's enough business for everyone.
There is. With travel counsellors, it's a funny one. People buy from people. So one person that would want to use my services, another person might not, because our might not mesh personality wise, and that's totally fine. Alternatively, you might get someone that, I'm good at Disney. Am I great at Disney? No, there's people that are Disney ambassadors. They're great at Disney and they know everything about Disney. I don't pretend to know everything about Disney. I know a lot because I've been a few times. So I can do your routine trips, but if you want a deep dive on Disney, I will probably get one of my colleagues to help. And likewise, if I need help with the Maldives, my friend might dig in, and that's what it's all about, collaborating together and helping each other. And it's funny, I sometimes get friends who'll contact me about Ireland. If they're like, Daragh, you're Irish, what do we do with this? Or Daragh, you've been to Borneo, where did you go when you wanted to see the orangutans? And things like that. So it's really about sharing that knowledge. And I think that's a really important thing from travel counsellors, because you're going to one person, you're only ever going to deal with me one-to-one, but I have the knowledge of 2,000 travel counsellors behind me.
Love that.
And if I need something, I just send a message, and I can guarantee you within like a matter of hours, sometimes minutes, someone will come back to me and offer help.
Amazing.
It's really, really good like that. Yeah. So you never feel alone and you're never isolated. But it also means that the customers get the best service possible, because it's not just one person. There's 2,100 of us.
Yeah. And I think that's really important, because you can't, it's like when someone starts a business and you're like, who's your customer? And you're like, everybody. Yeah. And you're like, I promise you don't want to deal with everyone.
You can't.
Because on the on the customer side of thing, if they're not your people, you're not going to gel, and that's fine. But also, that's like saying you're an expert of every single city and country around the world.
You just can't be.
You're not
you
can't.
Be.
Full disclosure, I've never been to Ireland.
Listen,
I've travelled a lot.
When I can eventually bring myself to look at you again, we will talk about this. It's very close, and it's a great place to visit. I'll forgive you this once, but we need to rectify this in the next year.
It's on my list. It's on my list to do the.
It's a great place to go. Wild Atlantic Way.
Ones. Well, just all the touristy bits, but also that's where I'd want to pick your brains and go, right, where do I go? So it's not like, it's a bit like going to
the biggest thing I'll tell you about Ireland.
Minute queue.
Yeah, the biggest thing about Ireland, I will always say to people, if you're going to Ireland, don't spend a week in Dublin.
Yeah.
I'm from just outside Dublin. Dublin is great. I'm not knocking it. But you need to go for a couple of days, do all of the main things like the Book of Kells and see all those things. And then get out of Dublin, go to Galway, go to Cork, go to Wicklow, where I'm from. And there's some beautiful areas outside of Dublin. And that's what's important to kind of really get a feel for Ireland. You need to explore it a little bit. Yeah. And it's not big. It's to drive from Dublin on one coast right all the way over to Galway on the other coast, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's nothing.
We're not a big country. No. Do you know what I mean? Driving from tip to tail, I think it's about 8 hours from the top end to the bottom end. Yeah. So we're not big. You can work your way around, but there's lots to see and do. Yeah. It is beautiful. Just bring a raincoat.
It's on the list.
Yeah. Warmer rain in the summer than there is in the winter. It's grand. Just get used to being wet. It's fine. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's on the list. I promise I will go.
Yeah, good.
But I do love the fact that it's because I had a travel counsellor a few years ago. Wayne, if you're listening, I've still not forgiven you for going to another cruise company, because I'm not a cruise person, so that was rude. Lost all my business. And then an independent lady who unfortunately passed away. But it was bittersweet in a way, so she booked my Antarctica trip for me. Yeah. I was so sad she didn't get to, because we were meant to go in 2020. Yeah. So it was one of those rebooked trips. So that was sad. Bless her, she was the loveliest lady, and she
would have been so excited to find out how you got on.
Exactly, and she used to desk hire with us as well. So we'd literally. I'm not selling my desk co-working very well, because we just chat holidays.
This is why I won't go into you.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Why I would never encourage you to, because we'd just end up talking, because she used to volunteer in different countries, and that's how she'd see them. So she'd just take herself off for a few weeks and just go and volunteer, see the country and do it that way. So it was a really cool, again, a different way of looking and seeing the world.
There's so many different ways to see it. There really is.
Amazing, because she'd tell me about places like I hadn't even considered. Yeah. And I think so many people want to travel now for the gram. To say they've been somewhere. But on the flip side, I love that anyone can travel anywhere nowadays. If there's no, like, God, I'm going to show my age now. I am 25. But going back
plus VAT.
Yeah. So 29.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's that thing of there's no limits anymore, whereas used to be limits. So then people can talk to people like yourself and go, do you know what? I want to do this, and this. What, in one trip? Yeah, fine. And that's what you can do. And
that's it,
I love to do that.
I do love to do that. I love if someone comes to me with an idea and then we can play around with it. I mean, some of the ideas can be a little bit far-fetched, where I'm like, do you realise the distance between those 2 points? But yeah, no, it's exciting then to kind of, because you are collaborating with the customer. Yeah. And I think that's what's important. It's not me hoisting my ideas onto you. It's me making your ideas possible. Yeah. And creating your dream trip and your dream itinerary. And that's what's really important. It's about just making someone else's dreams come true when it comes to the holiday.
Yeah.
And it's not whether I would go or not. It's about, am I fulfilling your need? Yeah. And the nice thing with having someone like a TC or someone that you go to consistently and you stick with them year after year is, it's about me learning what you like and what you don't like. Yeah. So I have a family of 7 that are coming up on their 5th trip away with me. Wow. This Christmas, they're going skiing.
Sorry, how long have you been going now?
I know, I'm only going a little bit over a year. They've gone, and they've gone away 4 times with me so far. So that'll tell you, it's worked. Yeah. But I kind of know off the top of my head what their requirements are. I know what they need. Yeah. And I also, it means when I'm looking at things, I can do it quite fast because I go, no, they won't like that. No, they won't like that. Oh, they'll love that. Yeah. And I know straight away. Yeah. I just kind of, you get to know them. And it's like if you went to someone and they were your personal stylist. Yeah. They understand what your fashion style is. Yeah. You have a holiday style too. Yeah. You know what you like with your room style. You know whether you want bed and breakfast. You know what you want near you, whether it's quiet or busy or lively. It's all those things, and kind of knowing all that is important, and knowing what they like to do when they're away as well. You have got people that want to travel for the gram, and if you're sending them to Greece, for example, you'll send them Santorini. But if you want people that...
What is it about Greece this season?
It's all about Greece at the
moment.
All
about Greece this season.
But the nice thing about Greece is there's many different Greek islands. Yeah, so, for example, if I was sending someone to Greece and they weren't all about the gram, I might send them to Kefalonia. Yeah. Which will give you more of a Greek experience, and it's less touristy. There's tourists there, but it's not as mad touristy as Santorini. So it's about, you can still experience those things, but just be open to something. Yeah. And it's also cheaper then.
Yeah. I think while I was in Greece, there was a couple of people that we followed, like very, very famous people, or have a lot of followers that were in Greece from America. And I was just like, even the Americans are coming over to see all the white and blue.
That's it. I mean, Greece is just it's so picturesque. Yeah. It's got so many beautiful beaches, so many different islands. It is huge. And it does luxury very well as well. Yeah. Which is a very big draw. So if someone wants all-inclusive and in Europe, Greece is kind of your main baby. It's really, really good for us.
While we were on the island, the young lad, this is where my football knowledge, the 16-year-old who was famous in the was it the World Cup we had this year? Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, anyway, he was on the other side of the island.
Right.
But the hotel posted after he left. But then while we were at the beach one day, this big yacht came in, and then this helicopter came in, and there was a couple whose yacht was there, and they were saying, that's like 5 million's worth of yacht, but it's 5 million a year upkeep as well.
Yeah.
Buying a yacht this year then?
No, not this year. Maybe next year. It depends. It'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, that's the same with holidays. You can spend as much or as little, not as little as you want. Sometimes there is a minimum you need to go to spend to get somewhere. Yeah. But when people go to me, oh, well, whatever, I'm like, you can't just say whatever, because I can make it a holiday as expensive as you think I can make it. Yeah. I could make a holiday that's going to be more expensive than your house. Yeah. So it's a bit like, oh, need to be careful. Give us a target.
When they've seen it on the gram, do we get that the slide down into the the sea? Yeah,
the villa with the personal villa with the personal butler, you can do all that. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I can book it all for you.
Private flight over, no problem. Anything you want, just depends on your budget. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly that.
You can't have champagne lifestyle with a lemonade bunny. Yeah, that's all.
Exactly that. And how do you manage that with people? Because I mean, admittedly, I did go to Greece and I didn't book it through you, but I literally, full disclosure, I was just like, do you know what? We just need cheap week away.
In fairness, you did message me to let me know that you'd done that, so because you thought you'll see me on the ground. No, which is fine. It's totally fine. Sometimes an off-the-shelf thing, I'm like, go for it. Yeah. I understand why people do it, and that's fine. And you come back to me then for your more curated things, and you will talk to me about other things. Like we're talking about other things for the future at the moment. So that's fine. I don't hit people over the head and say you can only use me. I would prefer if you only use me. Now, I'm joking. But no, some things it's just as easy. And I'm like,
I think
fine.
As well, it's that balance of, I think because I know too much or know how it works with commission and stuff at the end of the day. So the fact that I could take you away from such and such a holiday, and I could maybe save or have the help of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. It is, because the beauty of using a TC is if anything were to go wrong. Yeah. I am your point of contact. It's
Yeah.
about personal service.
Yeah.
It's about having someone that's there at your beck and call that can help if anything goes wrong, or if they want to change anything or add anything. There's never a call center. There's never anyone else. There's never you're left waiting on the line. It's a quick WhatsApp to me and I'm on it.
Yeah.
And quite often I'm actually on it before you know it's happened. I have clients that are in Canada at the moment, actually on a road trip around Canada, and they're having an amazing time, which is great. They messaged me the other day to say they'd seen a bear cub crossing the road as they were driving down on the highway. Yeah, amazing. That's what I wanted them to see. But what they don't know is their flights were changed 17 times before they went. And I fixed them every single time. Now, by fixing means I rearranged all the schedules. So there's maintenance to do with that. When you book with someone, it means it creates a package when you do something like that with me, and it's all protected, it's all safe, and your money is protected. And it's important because there's a lot of things can happen, whether it's wildfires. In Greece has had loads of wildfires. In Canada, we've had wildfires. You get weather systems that can happen. You just don't know. Iceland. I'm going to Iceland next month, and Iceland's a little demon for throwing weather things at you and things changing your whole plans. When you have someone there that can rearrange everything for you, that's a godsend.
And I think that's what Wayne taught me about Travel Counsellors, is when we were booking, so like we've booked at the moment our chalet for 14 people. So you've got to deal with and know that and how that works, where we want to go, because we are very particular because there's 14 opinions in that. But where was I? It wasn't one of those. Something happened and it went wrong, and it was a text to Wayne saying, what's this? No, you're covered, it's fine, I will deal with it. And
it's important.
Yes, I could, and I have booked that holiday myself, but for 14 people, and then it's all on me because I've booked it. So even subconsciously, if something goes wrong, it'll be me to deal with. I don't want to.
100%.
Don't want to deal with that. It's like a nice and extra insurance.
That's it.
But not an insurance.
But even if nothing were to go wrong, isn't it nice knowing that you've had someone look at it that has the time to look at it and figure it all out for you and has found you the best of options? And that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking at the best options for you because I treat your holiday like it was my own holiday. I want you to get the most out of it and to get everything you want out of it. You asked me before about the expectations of people's budgets and so forth. There's a couple of different ways of looking at it. When someone comes to me and they go, right, I want X, Y, and Z, and I'll go, okay, what's your budget? And they give me a budget. And in my head, I go, I don't know if I'm going to get X, Y, and Z for that budget. So then what I do is I get them as many of X, Y, and Z for that budget as I can and go, okay, here's what I can get for what you said. Here's what you want will cost. And I can show them that. And then sometimes people go, okay, well, can we meet in the middle and go, I'll leave that out and that out and maybe have that and that. And we can do that. Or sometimes they'll go, okay, I just didn't realize. That's fine. Then we want the one with everything in it. Or else, well, can we postpone it for 3 months and we'll save a little bit longer to make sure that we do everything we want. I think it very much depends on the style of holiday you're going on. If you're going on a once in a lifetime trip somewhere, you want to make sure everything that you want to see is included in it.
100%.
You don't want to miss anything.
No.
There's nothing worse than going somewhere like, I don't know, like I'm going to Iceland next month, for example, and some of the things I'm doing are we're snorkeling between the tectonic plates. We are going to the lava tunnels.
I'm not jealous. We're all of this trip.
No, I know.
I'm not jealous.
Sky
I've not
Lagoon.
got to go back to
We're
Iceland.
going snowmobiling over a glacier, and we're going on a Northern Lights cruise. So I've made sure that I'm doing everything I want to do when I'm there. Because when I leave, I don't want to have missed anything. There's nothing worse than going somewhere and then coming back going, I wish I'd done that or wish I'd known about that. And that can sometimes happen if you're not booking with someone like me.
I think it's important to be that upfront and honest about it, to go, right, here's package A, here's package B. This is actually what you wanted to pay. This is actually doing it all. And I think as well, it's like when hotels, I always think it's a classic with hotels. And if you try and book a package holiday, and I've done it before, where you're like, people don't like hidden surprises. So it's like when you book the flights, you're like, oh, I've booked the flight, I've done this. Oh, the flights are only like 80 quid. Yeah, but once you've got the add-ons, it's 60 quid. So you're like, oh, okay.
And then your seats. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, 100%. When I'm booking, I won't lie, I'm always planning in your suitcases.
Yeah.
And I'm planning in your seats because
Yeah.
you want to sit together. You're a family.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't want to be spread all over the plane.
No.
Right? And then if you're paying when you're trying to get on, you don't want the stress of that. So I try and take all that away at the start.
Yeah.
Sometimes people might say to me, look, we're just going to go hand carry only. And I'm like, that's fine, because some planes allow quite big cases on hand carry, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that's a personal choice. But I'm the person who will tell you all of those things up front.
Yeah.
I will tell you the things you don't want to miss when you're there.
Yeah.
Now, I can sometimes tell you about something and you go, oh yeah, it's not for us. We're not interested in, we're going to Thailand. We don't want to go to the Similian Islands. That's fine.
Yeah.
But at least I've told you about them.
Yeah.
And that's what's important to me. I don't want you coming back from your holiday to Thailand and go, you never tell me about the Similian Islands, and they were quite close to us. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
That would make me feel disappointed then.
Exactly. And I think that's what you can't. Google gives you too much now, and this is why I can't do it, because I get overwhelmed by it. So when we've done short weekends away, we've Googled and we've gone, oh, we can do this and that. And it's like, well, when we went to Kos, I was looking at different restaurants. It was too much. I got completely overwhelmed by it. And then we walked in and did it on the night. So that was fine. But also, I don't know what I've missed, because then you talk to people while you're there and they're like, oh, you should go here, you should go there. Now, I always take that with a pinch of salt, because my version of my favourite restaurant and your version of your favourite restaurant could be really, really different.
Very different.
I want traditional Greek, good service. Yeah. And actually, I'm on holiday, so I don't not care what I pay. I'd need to work out if it's suddenly Michelin star. But it's very different from someone that's just like, oh, and some people do, and I get this, oh, we managed to get steak and chips. We just want to make sure we've got chips at every restaurant. I'm like, it's not my idea.
No, it's each to their own. I mean, I had to arrange a ski trip for some celiacs this Christmas, and that involved me looking at restaurants because I needed to make sure there was restaurants in the area that could cater to celiacs. So
is it in France? Because France love a celiac.
France do not love a celiac at all.
In France, you eat everything.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, how did you knew it was France then? So the funny thing is, this is where you'll understand this being a skier. Self-service, self-catering apartment, going to be France, because the others don't do that. Austria and Italy are more hotels. Yeah. But catering for celiacs, Austria and Italy, not France. So I needed those two things to marry. So I needed something along the borders, which is fine when you know it. But it's that joy of me having 2,000 travel counsellors that I can go, has anyone been to this area? Or does anyone have any celiac or nut allergy? I have a peanut allergy, for example. So we can talk from personal experience and know what you can do or where you can go. I can, if I'm sending someone somewhere and they want restaurant recommendations and you've given me a list of what kind of things you like, I can ask for that and find that out. So those are the kind of things that you can add in and literally tell people. And it comes back to, again, once I know that that's what you like, then that's the kind of service I'll provide each time. Because it's about me being the chameleon and changing to what you need every time. And then you're happy, and then I'm happy.
And ultimately, then you rebook.
100%.
Like, you know what? I'm never going to book my own holiday again.
But it's so, like, even I go, it's so time consuming. It really is. to look for everything and to look through all the different options and to see who holds it. We were looking, you and I were looking at something in the Maldives recently. I looked at 4 different tour operators. I looked through my own systems. I went direct to the hotel. I looked through another provider. Like, someone else wouldn't have all of the facilities and the infrastructure that I can do that fairly easily because my systems are set for it. And I have all the contacts. I know who to contact and the knowledge. Whereas, God, if I was a layman doing that, that would have been an absolute nightmare. And I don't know if they would have been able to get to the route I got to, because I don't think you wouldn't have had access to the last supplier because they only deal with trade. So there's all these inside things there with it. How
does that all work? Like, what do you have access? Because bearing in mind, my brain's still stuck in there. You went to North Street in Sudbury, sat in front of the lady at Thomas Cook, and you went, right, I would like to go. And my mum and her friends used to do it. And they'd be like, there's 2 couples, there's 4 of us. We want so they was a fly and flop. But insistent of the hotel has to be on the beach, the hotel has to be this. So they had the requirements, But they would it would be a good 4 hours on a Saturday.
Yeah.
They'd be sat in there, which I think some people don't realise how long it takes. They think, oh, Daragh, I really want to go to the
That's
Maldives.
because they're
So you do
looking
that,
when
and
you're there.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. 2 minutes later, here it is. It's like,
No, I
don't
mean,
work like that.
no, it does take longer. It does take longer. So because I work from home, I can meet you. If you live locally and you want to meet for a coffee, no problem. I'll do that. I work from home. It tends to be a phone call. I've had phone calls that are 45 minutes long. I've had one phone call that was 2.5 hours long. That may have been you. No, it wasn't. It was someone similar to you that liked to travel, and then we ended up on a complete tangent.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And they have
I
been,
mean, we'd never do that.
Never. And we discussed loads of different holidays. In the end, I had to come back to going, sorry, which country am I looking at there? Because we talked about so many different places. So it very much depends. But I have a list of questions I'll go through, and they'll tell me what they want. What I can do everything. I can do everything that you would get when you went into a travel agent. The difference is it's more personal service. I know you're sitting in front of someone at a desk, but when something goes wrong, they'll just tell you to talk to the agent and resort.
Yeah.
I won't ever put you onto someone else.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. I'll handle it.
Yeah.
If you're not happy with something, it's me that'll fix it.
Yeah.
If there's an issue with the flights, it's me that'll do it. Now, I might have to say to you, you need to report this to the front desk or things like that, but I'm always there to support.
Yeah.
So it is very much me. So I can do all of the same things that they do. I mean, you mentioned Sudbury. We have Premier Holiday in Sudbury. I can deal with them. Yeah. So my mother-in-law booked a holiday with them. Well, through me with them. So yeah, I just can liaise with them. I do all of the cruise lines. I do all of the locations. I guess personally, I'm probably a little bit stronger on long haul, but I have the friends and the knowledge base that can cover everything. But I know Indonesia, Malaysia, Asia, a little bit about South America, North America very well. So I can talk about the Middle East as well, actually. So there's lots of areas that I'm very strong in that I can talk about.
But I'm long haul, so I've never been to Ireland.
There you go.
I can do long haul.
You can do long haul. We always want to go further away generally. That's the thing. So yeah, no, I can cover everything. I can do a Jet2, EasyJet, TUI. I can act for all of them. So it is literally everything.
Actually, then that's it's the thing, a bit like and I took the risk of not booking through you, because actually when I've done, God, we're going back several years, I remember going to Tenerife and we had an issue with the flights, which was a nightmare. Then we got to the hotel, I had stuff stolen out of the hotel room. The liaison on the ground was nowhere to be seen. They didn't really care. They weren't bothered. And it was just, I've taken away from that holiday being an absolute nightmare. Well, it's Tenerife, so the weather wasn't great, but that's fine. It's Canary Islands, so it's kind of to be expected. But I've taken away from that. It was just a lot of hassle. Now, I didn't get irreplaceable things stolen from the hotel room.
But still,
it's just that feeling.
It tainted the holiday.
But it's the being cared for, is someone looking after you and someone being there, because then it was like, well, who do we call? Do we call this person? Do we do all this? And then you get bounced around.
Exactly,
And I think that's a lot of people, what they don't understand. You try and do it yourself, it will be call centres, or you will get bounced around, or actually people don't care. And I think that's the difficult thing.
That is it.
Some reassurance.
No,
if anything happens, I'm like, right, I'm on Daragh time now.
Yeah.
Like, right, this has happened.
Well, it's like you say, I do want you to come back to me. I want you to continue to use my services. So it's very important for me to give you a good service. So if something happens, you are my primary concern, is to make sure everything is okay for you. So I had clients actually that were in an accident in the summer. There was an incident with a boat. A wave hit a boat as she was disembarking. It was a small boat and she fell and actually broke her ribs. Now, we were able to sort a translator, a car, to bring them to the medical centre away from their hotel to get them checked out. Then we were able to change the transfer, which was a speedboat, to an airplane, because on a speedboat it would have been very choppy, not good if you just hurt you've broken a rib, and things like that. And I was on the phone to them every single day, make sure that they were okay. I didn't want to get annoying either, because they're still on holiday, so I was like, I'm here if you need me, just let me know. But it's having someone that can sort all those things, or even the husband fell in the water at the time when it all happened as well, and his phone stopped charging. So I was able to look up, where could I get him a charger? Could Amazon have one delivered to his hotel? It's things like that I will do everything.
Think of.
No, but I will do everything in my power to make sure it's all smooth out. Quite often, if it's something small, I may be dealing with it here. I had someone who had a transfer issue there a couple of weeks ago. I'm dealing with it. I'm like, forget about it for now. Enjoy your holiday. You're really happy in the hotel. You love the resort. Just enjoy it. Let me handle this. And then they don't have to worry about phoning and lodging. I'm doing it. And that's the service you want.
And I think that's the biggest peace of mind. When you go away, you just want peace of mind. Because if anyone's like me, I want to switch off. I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want to be working or trying to call people or get hold of people. You just want to switch off and...
That's it. And know that you're going to have a good holiday. Know that where you've gone is somewhere good, because I'm not going to send you somewhere bad. I'll be honest, if someone comes to me and when they want just 1-star hotels, I'll actually tell them to book it themselves, because I wouldn't feel comfortable booking someone into just 1-star hotels, because I'm like, they're 1-star for a reason, and that's going to reflect back on me. So I think that's maybe something you need to look at yourself. But I'll look at all of the reviews, and I have reviews that have come from travel counsellor clients that have gone to these places as well, which is something you guys can't see. So I can see from people who've visited there what their review is.
And I think
that's
really
important.
Going back to like the restaurant example, hotels is exactly the same. I've got friends that will put up with hotels that I won't go to. I've been to those hotels back in the day when I used to do. I remember doing Tunisia all inclusive for 2 weeks for £400.
Those were the days.
But level of hotel, nearly got kidnapped.
Food poisoning, norovirus.
It was fine. I was happy. It was a flying flop. I was just going for the tan. So
it's like one of those things. If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
Exactly that. And I think, but the same with, that's why I take TripAdvisor with a pinch of salt, because some people... They might, and you have to almost read between lines, and I think you have to do this across any service now, because actually some people don't like that hotel. They'll be like, oh, well, the reception, there was a 10-minute wait at reception. Well,
exactly. I think,
at the same time,
they're busy.
10 minutes not that bad. I've sat in reception for an hour before at some places. They can't control that. However, if it's clean, the food's nice,
if the food's good,
friendly.
there's lots of different things you need to take into account. TripAdvisor, of course we all look at TripAdvisor, but at the same time, a lot of negative people like to say a lot of negative things. And is it truly reflective? But then there's the other side of where people say there's fake scores on things as well. So that's why I wouldn't just look at that. We have a few different things that we look at, but our internal one is, I find, really good in that.
Can you imagine? Because if there's like over 2,000 of you, and it's like I'm in an hour and over a hotel, I bet you 9 times out of 10 you go, what about this hotel? Oh so I went there, or my clients went there.
Quite often, if I'm hemming and hawing between 2 hotels, and I'll go, I just can't see which one I think is better, I might put it in one of the group chats for travel counsellors, and I will get people to go, been to both, this one for that, this one for that.
Perfect.
And that's the great thing. There is a lot of us, and we all like to travel. So
My new worst nightmare is one of those hotels where you have to run for the sunbeds at 8 a.m.
That I just know. No.
My absolute
if I
nightmare.
honestly,
when you see it on
Instagram,
horrendous, and you're like, why are you staying there?
I can't deal with that. I'm the same, and I won't recommend a hotel if I see that in any of the comments. I'm like, nope, that's coming off my list now. No. I can't do it. That's just awful.
Who wants that stress?
No, couldn't deal with that. And that every day.
Yeah.
No.
Not gonna.
No. I'd go out to the shop and buy my own sunbeds.
Yeah.
They're mine, the gold ones. Leave them alone. And I'd park them. Don't touch them. Because I couldn't handle that. And I don't understand anyone that goes to a resort that... No. So I tend to only look at hotels that don't do things like that. Which there is still a lot of hotels that don't.
It's like the 1-star ones, isn't it? It's like, no, you push it.
Well, that is it. Those kind of usually fall into those same category of hotels. And listen, we all did it. I try and think back to after my exams holiday with all my friends when I was 18. That was the kind of holiday we went on. You all need it. It's a rite of passage.
Yeah. 100%.
But I wouldn't do it again. 100%. You do. But experience it once and then never go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can literally do everything. If you want a round the world trip, I can do it. If you want a cruise, I can do it. If you want to go to Greece, I can do it. But cruise is very, very popular. And there's lots of different types.
But
hands up, you've been on one that you loved. Expedition.
Was it a cruise? It's an
It is. It's
expedition.
an expedition cruise. It's an expedition cruise.
Yeah. So hands up. And also, like, when people say about going to the Mediterranean, so you can tick off, like...
Yeah. You can tick off a lot of countries, yeah.
So I do.
River cruising, I think, is amazing. Imagine going along the Nile, seeing Egypt.
True.
Imagine going along the Mekong River, seeing Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Peru, you could go to the Amazon.
Yeah, okay.
That's... I mean, there is some really cool... But a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Loads of my friends and family book cruises.
Yeah.
I completely get it. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at a few cruises at the moment for people, actually.
But busting the myth of travel agents, because I remember back in the day, we had one. And because people, I think back in St Thomas Cook, they obviously didn't have as many options for what you're saying of what you can look at. Was when we
on the shelf.
asked, so we were asking for, and now you've got Google. My friend wanted to go somewhere, but she's very particular on her flight times. So she's like, I always want these flight times. This is what I want to do, and these are the airports.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, no, you can only do this. So she went on Google. She's like, but this. Yeah, but, and there was some excuse. So just busting the myth of travel agents and operators, you've got more options available to you, haven't you?
Yeah.
In terms of
I've got all the flights.
That's not a thing.
No, not for me anyway. So the difference is they work under packages, so that they're selling something off the shelf that's pre-made. So it's like it's in stock. So if it's not in stock, they're not altering it. Not all of them, actually. Sorry, that's a lie.
Yeah.
If you go to, there's someone I can think of off the top of my head that you go into them, you can pick your flights. They'll put it all together, same as I would do. But no, if you had specific flights you wanted to be on, I put you on those specific flights. That's what you want.
Yeah.
If you wanted specific airlines, if you wanted a specific class, all of that is done. Yeah. I do all of that.
Class, but for like 500 quid, that'd be great.
This is where I show you the reality versus your ideal. Yes, you won't be getting business class for £500. I'm sorry. But, I mean, that actually is a conversation I have quite a lot with people where they want business class flights going on their honeymoon. And then they tell me their budget. And I tell them that their flights is half their budget. And I personally think that's mad. Yeah. Actually, or it's more than half. It might be 3/4 of their budget. And I'm like, you're only on the plane for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there. I wouldn't see the benefit. But if you can afford it, great. Yeah, of course. But it is very much what people want. It's each to their own.
We went Singapore Airlines, not realising, but...
Singapore Airlines, it's a nice airline.
Yeah, exactly. And we couldn't believe how much space we got. We were like, what class were we in? No, we're in normal economy class. This is just their standard seats. I was like, wow.
Yeah, there's some some airlines do have bigger room, like Qatar, Emirates, Singapore. They're nicer airlines. Yeah. They are. Certain flights are not. The one difference can be, Ryanair do this as well, some low-cost airlines. They don't sell all of their flights to other outlets. Yeah. So you would need to book that specific flight with them directly. Yeah. So it can happen for me with Ryanair, because the reason I mentioned Ryanair is I deal with Ireland, so I have an Irish branch and a UK branch, so I do quite a lot of holidays from Ireland. And Ryanair I'll use Aer Lingus as much as I can, but sometimes it has to be Ryanair. It's the only airline I can get out. Yeah. And while Ireland does transfer to everything, you generally have to fly from Dublin or Cork to London first. Yeah. It's just really annoying for the Irish because we have multiple stops then to get to the point. So
and actually, Dublin's quite big.
It is quite big, but we don't.
Fly direct from Dublin.
And you can to most places, but it might only be once or twice a week. So it mightn't be on the days you want. Yeah. And that's where we fall down. Whereas the UK, it'll have a flight every day. Yeah. So it's much easier. So I use Ryanair a lot for that. But Ryanair don't sell all of their flight codes. Okay. So you can't book all of the Ryanair flights unless it's through Ryanair's website. We can book a lot of them. I'd say 90% of them I can book. But there's about 10% of them I just don't have availability on them. Oh, wow. They're just not there. They're not on my systems. Yeah. So sometimes at the low cost airlines, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing with flights. But in general, we can get every flight you want.
Yeah. And I think that helps with like what you say, your favourite thing to do is that proper package, right? We're going local, there'll be
100%,
changes.
yeah. But also for me to take into account, and you need the
that.
flexibility. If you have someone flying with young children, you don't want them landing in the middle of the night.
No.
You need to take those things into account.
Yeah.
You need to understand if you're flying someone to the Maldives, they need to arrive before a certain time to be able to get, if they're flying onto the island getting a seaplane, they have to land before a certain time. The seaplanes only operate during daylight. Yeah. So if their flight lands after lunch and they take too long getting out, they're going to overnight in Mali.
Yeah.
They cannot get to their island if they've booked a seaplane. So you need to know. It would be very annoying because you'd be so excited. You've landed. You think you're almost there. But if you're not. So you need, those things need to be taken into account. So if I was booking someone in, I'd try and get them to land at about 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So you might not fly until late the night before, but there's a method to the madness. Yeah. It's about when you're landing in resort and stuff like that.
And I think all of that knowledge is not what you get on Google.
No, you can't unless you ask it specific questions. The knowledge is there, but you need to know what to ask. Yeah. That's what I always say. And if you don't know what to ask, then you don't know what you're missing. Yeah. And I think that's the danger. Yeah. And the reality is, you just get more. It's the value in your holiday, which I always think. Granted, we go on a lot of holidays and nothing goes wrong. Touch wood. I've never had anything serious, although my flights to Peru got cancelled 2 hours before my flight, which was a bit stressful because I'd only gotten out of bed and it was 2 a.m. I was like, oh. But I fixed it, thankfully. Most times things don't go wrong on your holidays, but when they do, that's when you'll really know how good it is having a travel counsellor. Yeah. I mean, something that we talk about quite a lot as well is when COVID hit, we were able to refund everyone's money straight away because all of your money is kept in a trust. Wow. So if you look back, Martin Lewis actually told everyone to make sure that they book with travel counsellors when everything was finished because we were the best travel agents for making sure people had their money back. There was no quibble, there was no fights, there was no people left waiting, people got their money.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
That's really cool to be part of that.
100%. That's the kind of standard you want to be. We are always all about service. Yeah. That's it. It's about the customers. It's about keeping your clients happy. Yeah. And that's really, really important.
And I think it's then that good mix of you're buying local, so you actually I'm buying from you, you live down the road, and it's supporting you. But also I've got this whole huge company behind.
Exactly. That supports if anything goes wrong. Yeah. You've got them to help you out. It's like my umbrella covers you. It is important. I mean, I am a small business. I am a franchise. I own it. I bought into it. Yes, I follow guidelines, but the guidelines are there to protect me and protect my customers. So they're important. But at the same time, I am a local business. Yeah. I'm at the school fair next month in Thomas Gainsborough.
Oh, so am I.
Oh, there you go. You see, we'll be there together. Hopefully, we can sit beside each other. It'll be great.
Can I have a stand next to us so we could talk about holidays?
Message. Let's put that message in. Actually, I have to reply to them something later. I'll ask them for that as well. But things like that, you are part of the community. You go to the networking in the area. I shop in the area. I try and buy local. I promote other small businesses. I recommended you only 2 weeks ago. I was at something, a wedding fair actually last week, and someone wanted help with socials. I recommended you guys to help them. It's about being part of your community, and that I think is important. Yeah. And we all should be doing it more.
And I think that gets lost sometimes because you see companies on Facebook or Instagram and you have to almost read between the lines to see, well, are you local? Where are you? And just because in the village we've had several people, they've put flyers through the door and it's an 01787 number, but it's not a Sudbury company.
Yeah, it's redirecting.
It's been bounced around and stuff, and they've got people come up, and that's where... So we have a trades list, we have a little black book of recommendations, and it's very much a Breakout recommends now because so many people in the village have had unfortunate experiences. So.
That's it, and it's so important if you can support local. It is vital to your community. Yeah. You're supporting what you do when you hire someone or take on a business in your local area. You're helping everyone else because that money is going to be spent in your area. Yeah. Exactly, like it comes back tenfold to you. Yeah. So everyone benefits from it.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer to me.
So was Travel Counsellors a no-brainer? Is there? I don't even know if there's other people out there.
There is
But
other
was
no,
there-
there is other companies. The reason I picked Travel Counsellors is so I was in fine jewellery and high jewellery. That is very service orientated. I had people that shopped with me for 10, 12 years.
They do now.
They're still there. They're still watching my Instagram. They're still talking about things. We go for drinks occasionally. I don't know who they're shopping with. They've actually none of them shop with the brands they used to shop with that where I was, which is, I guess, nice in a way.
Yeah.
But that service was really important. And friendships, to be honest with you. You become friends with people when you get to know about them because you give a little bit of yourself away as well. So yeah, I worked in fine jewellery and it was all about service and it's what I was very good at. I love people.
Yeah.
I love getting to know people. I love working with people and I love building that rapport and having a relationship and becoming friends with them. And it's important to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I won't stalk you and be outside your house waiting to go for drinks or anything. But I like to be...
You've booked a
That's
holiday
it.
now.
I'm here now. I just think in life, it's nice to be nice.
Yes, it is nice to be nice.
It's good to be kind. Why not? And it makes you feel good if you're doing it. So I've always done that. So when I was looking at the different home working options and where I would open my own business, the one that stood out to me was Travel Counsellors because it's all about what they do for their customer. It's all about their community. It's all about how we treat each other. Yeah. We have community standards of how we're kind to each other, how we're never negative, all stuff that I firmly believe in. At first I was a little bit like, ooh, is this a cult? They're all quite happy, but they're genuinely that happy. People tend to really like what we do and our customers are primary concern every single time. It's about making sure they have the best holiday we can and receive the best service we can and give them, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
And it's your business, isn't it? So like
it's my business.
Your socials.
My socials, my socials.
Follow
my social media.
Yes, follow.
The socials. Now, my partner does help me with my socials, Tom. He's very good. So yes, he does makes it look pretty, decorates. And I do all of the writing and all of the ideas and what we come up with and locations. So yeah, we try and give something new every day and give a little bit of myself out there as well. I even do recommendations every month of what's my newest one I'm doing. Somewhere near, somewhere far, and somewhere a little bit different.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so somewhere if you want a long weekend break, maybe in Europe. And then somewhere a little bit further afield, like South Africa. And then somewhere a little bit left field, like maybe the Azores or somewhere like that you might not necessarily think
this
of.
is where I have an issue with your socials. Because
Right.
it just grows my list of where I need to go.
How do you think I feel? This is my issue with booking people's holidays. I basically send people on holidays I want to go on quite a lot, which is great, but... God, it's going to cost me a fortune. Yeah, this is the problem. I kind of know about everything now. Yeah. So now I want everything. Yeah. My list has not stopped growing. But isn't that fun? Yeah. I could be spending all my money on drink and gambling.
Have you got like the app or the Scratch It map so you can see what
I have a Scratch It map and an app.
Love that.
Yeah. You have to have both to keep it up. I'm in the 40s at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah. So I need to keep on going. I have a rule that I should go to...
I'm 20.
Oh no, I'm up in the 40s. I need to go to a new country.
Episode where I'm like on my phone. But...
Well, there you go. I have a rule that you need to go to a new country at least every year.
Yes.
So this country, this year I'm doing 2.
I think that's quite easy to do.
It is, but you need to. But you also need to do more than that because if you think of how many countries there are in the world, you need to do at least 2 a year.
There's
195. Is it or 93? There's something.
Well, there's some question marks.
There is some question marks, and then you've got places like the Vatican. That is officially a country.
Well, it's like San Marino.
San Marino, yeah.
So I missed out going to San Marino. I was only an hour away, and I couldn't go, so I didn't go.
You see, if you'd booked it with me, I would have made sure.
Well, there you go.
I wouldn't let you miss it. No, so this year we've got my 2 new ones this year for Tom and I is the Vatican and Iceland.
Nice.
Yeah, and then already starting to think for next year. We'll see. There might be a couple, maybe 2 or 3 new countries in the mix for next year. We'll see.
But then would you do somewhere near somewhere far.
100%.
Yeah, Ireland and the Vatican, because I would have them as near.
They are near. Italy is near.
Yeah.
Like a long weekend in Tuscany. Amazing.
Friend
Or going
went
to...
She flew to somewhere in Italy. Brain's gone for pizza the other day. So they got
Why not?
A very early flight out.
And stayed for the day very late.
Late night. She said it was knackering.
Yeah, it's exhausting, but a fun thing to do.
Randomly, you can do it. Which
You can. Yeah, you can. I mean, yeah. So my wish list, actually, funny you say this, is split into three different sections. There's a wish list of countries I've already been to, but there's places that I haven't visited. Like Indonesia. I really want to go to see Raja Ampat.
Right.
Which is kind of out of nowhere for diving. I wasn't aware of it, and I've been to Indonesia 10 times.
You didn't use travel.
Yeah, didn't use Travel Counsellors. Use another agency and they didn't tell me that. Very good. Yeah, very. So that's on my list. So I've got little add-ons that I go, okay, well, if I'm in that neck of the woods visiting a country I haven't been to, I can add this in, I will try to. So I've got that list. Then I've got somewhere near that might be for long weekends.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to go to Prague, maybe a long weekend near Christmas, or there's a Christmas market. Getting the method to the madness now. And then I've got obviously my long walk where...
Best Christmas
there's loads of different ones. Brussels is very good. They are amazing. So I've done Berlin, which is incredible. And there's a few different ones in Berlin. Brussels is amazing. Prague is meant to be incredible. There's just so many. They're all lovely. Really.
Yes.
And just fun to do. I do it in an area with some things to do.
Yeah.
And to make sure that you can have a full weekend. But yeah, I highly recommend it. And there are some nice trips you can do. And they're not overly expensive either.
No, exactly.
Nice weekend, right? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
No, you're all right. And then I've got my long list of things like going on a road trip through New Zealand or going to the Cook Islands and French Polynesia, which actually I put out in my post today. And that's somewhere that does able water bungalows as well, but that's very much on my list. Yeah. My problem is there's a lot of islands over around there, middle of nowhere, gone back by we need to get 6 weeks. So I'm on French Polynesia, Cook Islands, just doing the island hopping. There's loads. I'm very lucky that I've been to my places, but there's still a lot of places I want to act.
Yeah.
And explore some more. Like Canada, it's massive.
Yeah.
And I've just done one side.
Yeah.
I need to do the other side.
Yeah.
I'm on the north.
Yes.
I want to go see the polar bears in Canada.
Yes.
In Churchill.
Yeah. See, I've only ever done Vancouver.
Yeah.
I've done it a lot because my nan lived there. So I know lots of Vancouver.
So I've been to Toronto.
Yeah.
But I want to start from Vancouver side. The Rockies, Banff, Vancouver Islands. Yeah. That's where I have clients over there come out and do all that. Yeah. Calgary, Banff, Revelstoke, Kamloops, Whistler, Vancouver Islands.
And that's where the bears do just come down to 3 bins.
That's it. And they have spirit bears. So I'd love to see you some spirit bears there. Yeah. That would be very cool.
And we talk with the total. Oh.
There's lots of things. I also then have animal locations.
Oh.
Because I love animals. Yeah. So there's certain places I want to go based on animals being there. Like I want to go see the mangroves in Uganda. I want to go to Jordan to swim with whale sharks. I want to go.
That's Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan and Amman. Jordan and Amman. I want to twin.
Oh wow!
I do Petra and Jordan, and then go up to Amman and do the whale sharks. Yeah, you wouldn't think of it. So.
No. But, sure.
I want.
Yes. Well, it's a big world.
There's a whole world out there.
And that's the thing. I think so many people get caught up because you can see. I follow 2 people now, I think, on Instagram where they've done every single country in the world, which is a lot. I've seen a lot of countries. Still don't know how they fund it, but they've now got YouTube. So how did they start? I'm interested how they started that. But I think it's that thing of it's going back to your enthusiasm, the passion of what you want to do. Because I know when we've talked about holidays, it's always you get as excited as I do. It's like, right, one awesome.
It's really hard because I get really excited and I want to go.
Yeah.
I get caught up in the excitement.
Yeah.
But that excitement carries over then when I start searching for your holiday.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Like in the back of my mind, I've got about 6 inquiries I need to do this week. Yeah. And my mind is worming away with all things that I want to do. Yeah. Things what I want to add in.
Yeah.
So
And does everyone take your suggestions as well? Is it?
It's a lot of people do, actually. It's a mix. You can normally know if someone wants. I generally ask if someone wants any excursions or ideas suggested. And if they say no, that's fine.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, I do. So, for example, I did something for Thailand at the moment. And sometimes I can be a little bit, I'll throw kitchen sink out, where I'll go, I couldn't narrow it down anymore for these 7, because these are the 7 that I would really recommend. So I put the 7 excursions in.
Yeah.
They only discontinued or discounted 2.
Oh, what?
So they're like, we'll keep 5.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. There's so many different things you can do.
And does that pay off? Because obviously, this is the reason I do it. I could search for holidays all day, every day, and be quite content.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work in sort of, because you're not paid per hour.
No.
You're paid on commissions. So how does that work in terms of like, do you know what? I'm not going to spend 100 hours on this as much as I'm really excited on that.
It's my knowledge really that I'm saying. I'll know when I find tunes. And I don't want to overcomplicate and give you too many things to look up because that makes choosing difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, I only get paid if I book. So I can't endlessly work on something.
Yeah.
Because it's taking me away from actually paying jobs. But want to better.
Yeah.
So I can only either finite amount of time I'll give to something. Unless I feel it needs more because of something I have missed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
So I go, I never considered that.
Yeah.
And I need to look at that, and then I'll do it.
Yeah. And you get paid once they've gone on holiday.
So generally I get paid just about after the time where they'll pay their final amount. So it might be maybe 6 to 4 weeks before they go on holiday. Yeah. So it can,
so just for everyone listening, going, I'm going to travel the world, I'm going to be a travel counsellor, and it's
no.
it's not. Starting a travel business isn't.
It's starting a business. It is. No. I have people that booked with me last year that I have not been paid for yet.
Yeah.
Because they haven't gotten their trips yet.
No.
That's fine. It's like any small business.
Yeah.
You don't get paid until the service is rendered. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So it's not. Becoming a travel counselor is great. Yes. It's not easy in any way, shape, or form. There is a lot of learning. You need a lot of knowledge. You are owning a small business. You are covering your marketing. You're covering your PR. You're covering all of the admin. And it's very admin heavy. That's the one thing I don't think people realize.
Yeah.
Excruciatingly admin heavy.
That is why I can do it. I think because I do admin for other people.
Yeah.
And that's why. So I see a lot behind the scenes of what people do. Yeah, and as much as I would like to, I wouldn't be able to handle the responsibility.
No, and it's huge. If I put in your passport details wrong and you arrive at the airport, you're not going on that holiday.
Yeah.
So.
And I had that for mine. I booked the one I mentioned earlier, where I booked direct. Because I'd put Ben and not Benjamin, because I had the passport. Whereas we were getting on the plane in England, she was like, just to let you know, there might be a problem with this. Because, you put Ben and
it's like it's like that old 6 month rule to Europe, where I messaged you there a month ago to say one of your friends' passport is not going to be, it's still within date when they leave, but actually it won't work for the Schengens out.
Yeah.
Because hasn't got single validity.
Yeah.
So thankfully they got new.
Yeah.
Hence that very well behaved.
Yeah.
So no sense to me.
Yeah.
But it's very admin heavy. And there's the whole thing of you are your own boss, which is great. But that also means you need to have your own self-drive, your self-determination, and you need to work hard at your own business to make it grow. You are selling yourself all the time.
Yeah, constant.
Yeah. So if you're not comfortable doing that or putting yourself out there, it's hard. And then there's as my partner says, it's freelancer. It's a freelancer life because your money is up and down. Yeah. Like, for example, I know I've been paid this month. Didn't think I've got any paid from the next one following me.
Yeah.
So it's stretch.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it works in this world when you're
and I think
running your own business.
The difficult thing of a small business, like you say. So if you're paying for your marketing, PR and event, well, actually, it will be, can I budget for them? Because normally people would look at a year's budget and go, right, we'll pay this in here. But if you've not booked something and someone's not flying, then you won't have the cash flow to go.
Yeah. But thankfully that side of the finances is all protected in your travel counsellors. So that all goes into their stuff.
Okay.
So I'm not
while I take the payments, I'm not taking the payment. It doesn't go through my bank.
Oh no, that's what I mean. But in terms of commission and stuff.
Yeah, the commission doesn't come until then.
Okay.
Which I've always had in my head, that's fine. The first 2 years, it's one of those things as you go to business.
Yeah.
I'd be ready for that. So it hasn't bothered me. But I know some people have struggled with it.
Yeah.
Which is sad. But it is like anything. It's you're starting your own small business.
Yeah.
It's like I do wedding shirts. Wedding shirts cost money.
Yeah.
Not free to do.
No.
It's like you get paid to go and do that.
Yes.
Which is great. I love them.
Yeah.
Like I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And the suppliers are always great crack and customers are lovely. Yeah. So I love a wedding fair. Yeah. One this weekend.
No.
But they cost money. They're outgoings. And so yeah, it's all
And it's a risk, isn't it?
Always a risk.
That's going to pay off. I suppose that helps that you and Tom can do the socials together, because at least then it's not paying out for
100%. Everything's done for me in house.
Yeah.
Like we can cover everything.
Yeah.
Tom is just a whiz kid at Canva.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he can really help him at Canva, which is brilliant. It's taking much longer. Yeah. And he's good to bounce ideas off because he's a creative. He's an artist. Yeah. So the two of us can sit down and have a good chat about ideas and concepts. Yeah. And I think when you own a small business, your family is involved.
Yeah.
It's not just
yeah. I love that. It's almost, it's part of your brand as well. So it's lovely, because that's what I love about consultants as well. You've got your brand.
Yeah.
So as you know, it's not just, bearing in mind there's over 2,000 travel counsellors. Yeah. I don't know if they help or give you any social media tips or...
They will give us tips and training, but everyone's different. I'm very lucky with my background.
Yeah.
It's very heavily involved with our marketing VR team. So I learned a lot through that.
Yeah.
Which it has stood me in stead.
But it's quite a stumbling block for some people.
Massive. There's so many people that just cannot handle social media.
Yeah.
It freaks them out.
Yeah.
And it's just a block.
Yes.
But it's so important. So important.
Yeah.
I put most of my inquiries, certainly current inquiries, down to social media.
Okay.
And it might be that they know me, but the social media reminds them what I do.
Yeah.
And it's about me being in front and center when someone thinks they want to holiday.
Yeah.
That I have a post out. I post every single day since my business launched.
Wow.
Every day.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, I've made a cross for my own back. Yeah. I can't not post.
No.
But that's fine. Even when I go on holidays, I'll create the posts in advance.
So you've got a world's worth of content.
Exactly.
So it's not like, will you be aware of what's going to happen to social media when you're on holiday?
I plan it in advance.
Yeah, but in terms of interacting and your stories, liking stories and stuff.
Yes, that does drop down a little bit, I won't lie, because I need time out as well. Yeah. I will check in and I'll reply to any comments, but people will know when I'm away.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't like to live post, so you won't know what I'm up to in Iceland until I get back from Iceland.
Yeah.
And then I'll create some fun stories.
Yeah.
It's more interesting. I can enjoy the holiday.
Yeah, it is. And there's no pressure on posting either, is there?
No, there's not, because I can do all that beforehand. All of that will be scheduled. That will be automatically.
See, on the flip side, I post when I'm away because it stops and everyone knows, so it stops the inquiries. Like, is Farley in today? No, she's not. Oh, well, when's she back? So if everyone knows, it
whereas I'll have someone covering me that can handle anything that comes in, but most people are happy to wait till I come back.
Yeah.
They'll know. There'll be a lot of stuff on my social media letting people know I'm going away.
Yeah.
And so they'll know in advance, and then they'll just come back to me. Most people choose to wait. Yeah. If they've chosen me to come to in the first instance, they're happy to wait a week. Yeah. So it works.
And I think there's something urgent in holidays either.
Generally not.
That's the other thing. Unless someone's like, oh, I want to book, I want to do last minute, I want to do this. There shouldn't be, unless people are away and there's obviously a problem.
That's it.
For inquiries, there's no urgency on it.
No, there's not. Hopefully not. But if there's something, if they are away, like you say, and something were to happen, there's a point of contact.
Yeah.
So I have a very good friend and colleague who will cover my business and I cover hers. Oh, so there's always someone there. So if you're in resort when I'm away, there is a point of contact, and she will treat them like her customers. Yes, and she's brilliant. That's why recovery chats. Yeah, very similar. Even down to the fact that she has an Irish business and an English business. She's Irish too, and we both started together. Yeah, so we have exactly the same setup.
I love that.
It's easiest for us to cover each other because it's exactly the same. Yeah. way for us.
What do you mean an Irish business? And what you've got to?
Yeah, I've got 2 businesses. Yeah, so I've got an Irish TC company and a UK TC.
So how does that mean?
Irish suppliers and Irish part of the EU.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's different suppliers. Yeah. So, and there's different rules, different regulations.
Okay.
Yes, there's like slight differences with things. As the availability flight, I can book people through different things, but typically I'll book Irish clients through the Irish business and UK clients through the UK business, because actual, which we'll put on any packages we create in the UK, doesn't cover Ireland. Because we need repatriation. It beats the UK, not to Ireland.
Right. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Who knew?
There you go. Mine a bit of information.
Well, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely having you. And make sure all in the show notes, it'll be all the links to Darren. You need to follow him on social media.
Give me a follow.
Send him your holiday inquiries.
Send me your holiday.
Bring him up to chat about holidays.
But don't do that, because I'll never get lost. No, we can plan a call.
Yeah.
And
Holidays.
Say hello when we're aged.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for coming on, and we will see you in soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Thanks for listening to this episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share with a friend who you think needs a bit of help with starting a business, or even their small business which they've already got going. Please like and subscribe to our podcast, which always helps a small business or small podcast like us. And check the show notes. We all have everything in there relating to the episode which you might need, might want to read, and links to anyone we've interviewed and certain subjects we've spoken about. And thanks for listening.